ass weather, cold ass floors, McLaren 720S, big turbos. Thank God it's on low boost on our 888s. Not the best of ideas, but you know, shit happens. So this is actually one of my friend's cars from Utah. His name is Augie. He's about yay tall. Usually when he sits in this car, he looks like this. Can you imagine on a McLaren, you can hardly see over the dash? That's Augie. He's like a little mini Toretto! And he sits in this car like this, he's all tiny as shit, you can hardly see over the steering wheel. And we gave him all this power, which I don't think was a great idea, but this car was having some wastegate issues, and the electronic wastegate kept getting stuck. So it's been at the shop for a little bit. We haven't had time to really play with it, but at the end of the day, he's my friend. The goal with this car was we're supposed to build the motor and actually, you know, make 1300 horsepower safely. But again, Augie's really cheap. Even though he got the car for cheap, he doesn't want to pay the money to build the motor. Now he claims he's made so much money lately, you know, that he's gonna go buy a 765 and we're gonna do it to a 765. So I told the little dwarf we should pull these freaking turbos off and put it on the 765 instead of selling it on this car. But the guy's like got issues and he's like, no, I want to drive it like that before I sell it. I'm like, okay. So, hey Augie, want to send me headache cars? Well, it looks like you need some new tires, buddy. Hold it forward, full throttle down. Like, oh. So if Augie keeps his word and buys a 765, we'll be doing rods, pistons, some head work, a Cybex, bigger turbos than this, a Datsun clutch and so on, a differential, and that's the goal. So far everything looks good. Looks like the guys fixed the problem. No limp modes, no check engine lights. With my luck, I'll probably send it to Utah, and knowing the McLaren, it'll be right back. Down to do the one chip challenge?
Oh, bet, let's go.
What? Have you done this before? No. So we got Mike here. This guy thinks he's like the Spice Daddy. I got Spice Daddy here. This guy thinks he could eat anything that's spicy. I bet him $100. He's gonna eat this chip. We're gonna open it. You see it's sealed.
Yes.
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up a timer.
So you have to.
Oh, the whole
sounds
thing?
wet.
You ate the whole thing? Oh, you're dead.
Moments later.
Oh my God.
It's not like.
Fuck that.
It hurts to breathe.
21 minutes and 48 seconds.
Oh, I got this. I still got this. It's gotten way better. I'm still Spice Daddy. None of you have stepped up.
I don't even give a shit about this $100, okay? You already deserve this $100 for not touching anything for the past 10, 20, 15 minutes. 15. So here's your 100, okay?
I'm gonna wait.
But you're still a because you haven't even hit supercharged.
So I gotta wait 10 more minutes and I'm supercharged. All right. Yeah. In like 4 minutes, I'm going on 30 minutes. No water, no food, no milk, no Pepto, no. All right.
All right, relax, bro. You're not that big of a gangster, okay?
Yeah, so we noticed the clutch was starting to slip, so we started adding line pressure to it, extra line pressure. At some point, it's like we get the clutch to hold, and we'll give it a couple passes, and then it'll just give out on us. So at this point, instead of playing around with it, we're just gonna go build. Basically, it's all R&D anyways. So we made our numbers, we tested, we found everything. So at this point, it's like, okay, let's see, with just doing the clutch, let's see how far we can push everything else. right now we're just trying to We're just trying to take off subframe so we can get this car back as a roller. But then just as long as it's just a bell housing bolt, it looks like a couple sensors, and pull the trans out, we can get to a clutch. Alright, so at this point in the process, what we have is we got the motor out, motor and trans out, subframe off, motor and trans, so we can get this car as a roller. Probably gonna scan this, make some 3D models, probably make this out of fillet. Get it one piece machined, get everything tubed off, have like a little connector here just so we can keep this this whole section so we can keep it to the throttle body. I mean, at the end of the day, this is plastic. You're asking for trouble, right, with running high boost. I mean, it works, clearly it works. We can put down the numbers, longevity, and it's just gonna be a better part at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because then you have the risk of cracking, breaking, or just plastic deteriorates over time. Right around here, you're asking for something to split open. You know what I mean? With a billet one, with something machined, it's just gonna flow better. It's gonna look better. It's gonna perform better.
Dude, I love these F8s, honestly. These things are so fun.
This is F8 we got in from our customer. Really simple, we just gutted it so that Poirion can build the exhaust. He'll talk about that in a second. We're doing a Novatech full adjustable spring system on it. So take the factory shocks apart, take the factory springs out, throw your Novatech springs in there. It maintains the factory front lift. So it's gonna lower the car a bit. It's gonna give you a little bit better performance. Your center of gravity will be lower, and the springs also have a different spring rate from factory. And I believe the rear as well gets a helper spring, so it's going to help the ride a lot. It's going to ride like super nice.
So we're actually going to be using this car specifically to develop a new product. We're going to be taking our 3.5-inch rear section, and we're going to be converting it so we can fit it onto the factory downpipes. So that way they won't have to buy downpipes from us. If they want just an exhaust, we can just give them an exhaust. I'm basically going to be taking our normal 3.5-inch exhaust and putting it into it. Chrysalis actually built that exhaust. I'm going to be dropping it into this car, and I'm going to be making the modifications necessary in order for it to fit up to the factory downpipes. The factory downpipes are a much smaller diameter than what we use, so there's going to be a couple transition cones I'm probably going to have to press. Hopefully the center lines of the tubes are kind of on par, so I won't have to do any weird snakes or pie cuts in there, but it's a rear engine car compared to the FF and the F12s, so there's not much packaging issues in terms of like getting the exhaust around, you know. Doing is I'm cutting basically the part that would come down and slip in the R down pipe, and I'm going to be building off of that, and then once that's done I'm going to be fixturing it so we can build systems from scratch for factory down pipe.
Put on half of the exhaust, one half of it, and now I'm going to work on the driver's side. Just got to put the intake ducts back on, and then we did do the coilovers on the car, so we got to do the front suspension because whenever we did disconnect one of the lines, hydraulic fluid came out. So we got to bleed the system, and then, yeah, we just got to lower the car, lift the car up and down a couple times, and let the car bleed.
I just got the F8 done, got the suspension in, got the wheels on, mounted the tires, got all that going. They put our rear section on it, and I just finished flashing the ECU. They're putting the ECU back in, gonna close up the fender well, and then we're gonna go take it out on the street, take it on test drive. So basically with our exhaust system and our tune, we added about 120 foot-pounds of torque to the wheel and about 95 wheel horsepower on 91 pump gas. So it's ready to go for him to go take it out to the track, have some fun, beat it up, and enjoy his new car.